Okay, then we can start. The first topic is getting around in Amsterdam, and mainly the public transport. Public transport translates as openbaar vervoer, short for OV. You will see this two letters a lot. That's the common way to mention it in Dutch. For all public transport, you can buy a single ticket at machines, but you can also use an OV chip card or OV Pay. This is much easier and much cheaper. An OV chip card or OV Pay can be used in all kinds of public transport in the Netherlands, buses, trains, metro and trams. And we will explain this in the next slide. So these are the options that are available. You can choose to go for an anonymous OV chip card. You can buy this card at the yellow vending machine at the airport or at all big train and metro stations. This card, the card itself costs $8.50 and you can top it up on the card. You can top up the card on the same machines as I mentioned before. You will not need any subscription and you can also not add any discount. It's very anonymous as the title explains. You can also choose to go for a personal OV chip card. This one is linked to your bank account. This can also be a foreign account. It doesn't have to be a Dutch one. And you can add money automatically from your bank account whenever you reach a minimum. And you can add personal subscriptions or discounts. You must apply for this card online, and the link is also found on our website. Then another option you have, it's very easy. It's OV Pay. You don't need any card for this, but you check in and out just with your phone. For this, you need a Dutch bank account, though, so that's a big thing. We will explain more about it later in this presentation on how to open a Dutch bank account. And another option is to travel with a student mobility card. This is a general student discount card, which functions as a personal OV chip card, but then with 50% off on national trains. So not on local transport, no trams, buses, or metro, only the trains. So if you will use trains a lot, then this one can come in handy for you. The card also offers the option to rent a bike, swapfiets, and offers other discounts. Then more on discounts. We love discounts. Degree-seeking students might be eligible for the free student travel card from the government. Now I know that a lot of you are exchange students, so I'm sorry, but this is not possible for you. For those who are starting a long-term program, please check the government website to see if you're eligible for this product. Some other discounts. You can check what is the best option for you. It depends also on how far you will live from the university. So, and if you have courses during the week or what your schedule is, if you're working or not, because there are some seasonal tickets or subscriptions with local and national public transport instances that can be of any interest for you. So there are things possible here. It's just very personal on if it works out for you yourself. And then the student mobility card again, as I mentioned before. So yeah, a lot of options to make the costs, to decrease the cost a bit. Then getting around the city. You can use Google Maps for all your travel plans, but we recommend downloading the 9292 app. This app gives you a travel plan from door to door. Everyone has it. It's very practical. You can use a taxi if you like in the Netherlands, but it's not very common to do. To give you an example, a single trip from the airport to the city center is at least 50 euros. As an alternative, some people use Uber or Bolt. It's cheaper than regular taxis. If you want to explore Europe, during your exchange here, then we can recommend Flixbus as a good and cheap option to visit other countries. These are buses, they will bring you everywhere in Europe, and it's very fun. Then to drive to go around town, we advise you to do as the locals do, buy a bike or rent a swap fiets. This is the cheapest, most healthy and most fun option, I would say. Everyone does it and it's very convenient. Yeah, that's all for public transport. As I said, if you have any questions, you can use the chat, and our next topic will be presented by Monique. I just have to. You can go.
Thank you, Marieke. So then you've arrived in Amsterdam, and your next step is moving into your new home. And a lot of you have booked a room through AUS housing with one of our housing partners. And your rental contract will start then on Wednesday, the 29th of January. You can also arrive on a later date, but yeah, the 29 January is a lot of students arrive specifically on that date, but it's also possible to arrive later. You will receive information from your housing provider where to pick up your room key and when. Most of you will have a room with our biggest housing partner, Lieven de Kei, or the key, as some people pronounce it. They have an app which is called Guest Info with very extensive information. We recommend to download this app, and it will be very useful throughout your entire stay here in the Netherlands. As said at the beginning, we will share the presentation with you, and all the links we mention will also be in the PowerPoint you will receive after the presentation. And another housing provider is Duo, one of the biggest housing providers. They also have an informative website about how what to do when you arrive at your new home. And then we have some smaller housing providers like Studnest, Student Experience. Students who are going to live there will receive information through email. And there are a few things to keep in mind. If you're renting from Lieven de Kei, most buildings are keyless. So you don't have an old-fashioned key, but you open the door with an app on your phone. So it's good to know that it's possible to enter your room on the 29th of January only from 3 o'clock in the afternoon, not any earlier that day. And don't worry, if you run out of battery, there are emergency chargers next to the building where you can charge your phone, and you can add a key friend in the app so another person can open the door for you if you lose your phone or anything. If you have an old-fashioned key, then it's good to know that you have to collect this key in person. No other person can do this. And arrival is mostly only possible during office hours. So if you arrive late, or if your plans are changed, or your flight is delayed, let the housing provider know. And check-in is mostly possible during weekdays and during office hours from 9 till 5. So not in the evenings or in the weekends. Even if you have a keyless room, we recommend to arrive during office hours, because if you experience any technical issues, then you can reach someone at the office or one of the resident assistants at the building. So if you have a flight which arrives late in the evening or in the weekend, you would have to book a hostel if you cannot check in. And we have some recommendations on our website, and we will share the the link with you in the PowerPoint presentation later on. So that's it for housing. I don't know how I can get to the next slide, but maybe Marieke can do that. Yeah, thanks. So you've moved into your new home, then the next step is registration at the municipality. In the Netherlands, you have to register at the city or town where you're going to live, and this is mandatory. It must be done as soon as possible after your arrival. It is free of charge, but it's good to know that it's mandatory for everyone, so also for the EU students. This is something different as collecting your residence permit. The residence permit is needed for non-EU students, and that's to enter the country and to stay in the Netherlands legally. But we will talk about the residence permit later in the presentation, but we just wanted to pay attention to the fact that this is completely different. Registration at the municipality is for everyone. Residence permit is only for non-EU students, and you do not need the residence permit to register at the municipality. You do not have to wait until the process for the residence permit is completed. You can already register at the municipality when you arrive in the Netherlands. So yes, it's mandatory for everyone. And why? Because you will need a BSN. That's a citizen service number, but BSN in Dutch. And the citizen service number is needed if you ever have to go to a doctor or a hospital, a dentist, for opening a bank account, and if you want to work in the Netherlands or if you want to apply for any benefits. So before you register, you have to prepare some documents, and you will need to bring some printed documents as well. You cannot just show it on your phone. You have to really old-fashioned print it. And you have to make an appointment for that. We will explain later for the municipality of Amsterdam and for Diemen what to do. So what if you do not have a rental contract? So maybe you're living with friends or relatives and you don't have a contract. You can use the permission to register at address form from the city of Amsterdam. We have a link on our website to this form, and the landlord needs to sign this. But this is for Amsterdam only. So if you're going to live with friends or relatives in a different town or city, then you have to check with the municipality there how you can arrange this. And hopefully not, but maybe there are still some people who do not have a place to stay yet. But yeah, unfortunately, then it's not possible to register yet. You really need an address here in the Netherlands. If you have still troubles finding housing, please contact us and maybe we can still help you with finding a room. So we'll explain now for Amsterdam how it works. So we have arranged some special registration days for our students. They're from Monday, the 3rd of February up to and including Wednesday, the 12th of February. But before you can make an appointment there, you have to pre-register on the website of the municipality. You can find the link on our website. And for the pre-registration, you have to prepare your documents. You have to upload some documents there. And afterwards, on your actual physical appointment, you also need to bring some documents printed out. So the steps are prepare your documents, upload the documents on the website for your pre-registration. And then you will receive a confirmation that you can make an appointment for the registration days between the 3rd and the 12th of February. And And just to make sure, these are the special registration days. Don't make a regular appointment by Googling the municipality, but just do it through our website. Because if you make a regular appointment, there will be a long waiting time and you will not get your BSN immediately. It will take a long time, a few weeks. And so, yeah, it's not very quick. If you already made such a regular appointment, please cancel it because, yeah, this is much easier through our website. Okay. So for Diemen, some of you will are going to live in Diemen. That's a neighboring town of Amsterdam. It sounds really far, but it's not. It's even, especially for students from international business, it's very near the business campus. And people consider it as a neighborhood from Amsterdam. So it's really not far. But it is a different municipality. So if you're, for example, living at our campus or at the Rode Kruislaan, a building from Lievende Kei, then you have to register in Diemen. And you can schedule an appointment by calling the office. We have the number here, but we have the number as well on our website. And you have to bring some documents as well. You can find on the website which documents you have to bring. And if you're from a non-EU country, you have to bring your residence permit. But don't worry if you don't have it yet. Our immigration department will send you a special letter which you can bring instead of the residence permit. So if you're going to live at a different municipality than Diemen or Amsterdam, then we're sorry, we don't have any information about that. You will have to check with the website of that municipality. So for example, there are towns like Amstelveen, Hoofddorp, Zaandam. They're really nearby. If you're going to live there, just Google municipality and you will find how to register there. So just to be sure, it's not possible to register in Amsterdam or Diemen if you do not live there. So that's it for the municipality. Then a completely different topic, which is important to us as well. Here in the Netherlands, sustainability is important to us. So we want to explain some rules here. They might be different as in your home country. So I'll explain a few things. So the first one is waste. There's a very handy website, amsterdam.nl/waste, and everything is explained there on what to do, where to leave your waste. And it's good to get to know the waste system to avoid any fines, because there are very high fines if you do not exactly as it's told. For example, there are designated areas with underground containers, and there are separate containers for glass, paper, and in some neighborhoods also for bio-waste and for plastic. And there are containers as well for old clothes, but that's something you have to think about at the end of your exchange in summer. And our motto here is to reduce, reuse, recycle. And before you stop by at, for example, IKEA, you can check with previous tenants to take over any small furniture or kitchen stuff. A lot of people leave things behind, so you can check, with the resident assistants. If you can take over anything, that would be nice. And there are also a lot of secondhand shops, thrift shops in Amsterdam. And we have a link here to some of those shops. And it's very easy to save plastic and to save money. You can drink water from the tap here in the Netherlands. It's even considered the best water in the world. So you don't have to buy any bottles of water in the supermarket. And you can reuse bottles, cups. And also on campus, we do not use any disposable cups. So if you have a cup, bring it and for your coffee or your tea, or you can buy one at the campus. And at the supermarkets, it's best to bring your own reusable bags. It's not very common in the Netherlands to get a new bag every time you go to the supermarket. So everyone brings their own bags. And last but not least, on campus, all buildings are smoke-free. So there's no smoking and no vaping. We're very healthy people. So that's it for sustainability. And we move on to the next topic presented by Marieke again.
Thank you. I'll be talking about opening a bank account. If you have a bank account within the EU, it's probably not necessary to open a Dutch bank account because you already have an IBAN number, an international bank account number. This is for easy transfers and Maestro debit cards, which you can use in shops and supermarkets. But should you be in doubt about this, whether if your local bank has this card and this number, please check it with your local bank. They can inform you on this topic. For non-EU students, you will need a Dutch bank account for sure. In general, why you need it is what I said before, getting a debit card, because credit cards are not widely accepted in shops or supermarkets, so you will need this card to make payments. Also, more and more shops and restaurants do not accept cash anymore. It's very digital at some places. So again, the debit card comes in handy here. A Dutch bank account number allows you to use Ideal, which is a digital payment method used for web shops and payment requests and things like that. And international money transfers are just very costly and sometimes take several days to process. So yeah, it's very practical to have a Dutch bank account for this as well. You will also need this account for automatic monthly payments for your rent, your phone subscription, or whatever other things that you are going to need. And one more last thing that is important for non-EU and non-EEA students is that opening a Dutch bank account is even mandatory because the bank account is needed for the reimbursement of your immigration deposits, and it serves as proof of financial means. So yeah, you will need a Dutch bank account. And once again, if you're from within the EU, your local bank is probably enough for all the things that I just mentioned. So, but yeah, check it with the bank that you use. Then, if you want to open a Dutch bank account, which bank should you choose? We do not recommend a specific bank. It really depends on your own situation and what you personally prefer. Please check the websites of the banks that are listed here in this presentation so that you can see their terms and conditions, their prices, and the required documents. Yeah, they all vary. So yeah, it can be a personal choice for you. Most of these banks are free of charge for students. So that's a nice thing. Another topic, health insurance. This is very important. Why? Because you're responsible for your own expenses. If anything happens, you will have to pay for it yourself, and the costs can be very high. And besides, it's mandatory by law from the day of your arrival in the Netherlands that you have a valid health insurance. This can also be a European one, but I'll talk about that later. Just having a health insurance is, yeah, mandatory. To give you an example of the costs, if you need to spend a night at the hospital for some reason, it can cost you 800 euros per night. Should you need an X-ray scan, this can be 80 euros, and a specialist consult is over 100 euros. So yeah, high costs, and without an insurance, it's not fun. Let's see. Yeah, if you're from the EU, students from the EU can apply for a European Health Insurance Card, short as EHIC, at their own insurance company. So this is not a given. It differs per European Union country, so you might need an extra insurance. This is something that you will need to check with your own insurance company to see what is covered and what is not. We cannot advise you on that specifically, so yeah, please check it very well for yourself. And should you need more information about the topic of insurances in general, we can recommend AON Insurance. They have hosted a webinar about insurances last Monday. Maybe some of you were there. We had listed it on our website. This webinar is also recorded and can be found back from next week onwards, so you can find more information on the topic there. In case you want to work next to your studies, you will need a health insurance for sure. Yeah, once again, check our website for more information on how to do this. Then other insurances. Yeah, the Dutch love to be insured. They like to be safe and secure, but why not? Because things can happen and you don't want to be too stressed about the financial part. A few things that you can consider to do is to get a travel insurance if you plan to travel outside of the Netherlands. You can insure your household contents, for example, for theft, fire or water damage, any other external reasons. You can also go for a liability insurance. So this is for damage which you accidentally cause to others. For example, if you spill coffee over another student's laptop, that will be a problem. But with this insurance, you can cover the financial side a bit. You can request all of the above with insurance companies, but if you're planning to open up a Dutch bank account, you can also check out with them if they offer any kind of insurance with the bank account. Sometimes they offer a good deal, so that could be interesting. And lastly, AON Insurances also serves as a travel insurance and covers legal assistance and household contents. So yeah, that's definitely a partner that could be very interesting for you to check out. One more topic that is very important is health in general. If you're ever in need of a doctor, it's important to know how it works here. If you have any non-life-threatening issue in Holland, you visit a general practitioner. In Dutch, it's called a huisarts. This is always the first point of contact that will provide the care that you need. And the AOS also has their own general practitioners, short for GP. We also have student counselors and student psychologists. So all are specialized and experienced with international students as well. So we have you covered on that part. And in the case that you do find yourself in a life-threatening situation, the general number is 112, like in most other European countries as well. Yeah, but we hope they will not be necessary. Yeah, then I give the mic to Lotte Linde.
Thank you. I will go on. We already have dealt with a lot of different topics. public transportation, housing, registration at the municipality, insurance, bank account, a lot of practical information for you. I will still go through 4 of those important topics. After we will go on to our checklist just to have a small summary of all that we have dealt with before we go into the breakout sessions, the breakout rooms. So let me see if I can go to the next slide. Yes, all right. So the next topic is specifically for non-EU and non-EEA students. We have been talking about this already a little bit when Monique talked about the registration at the municipality, which is a different process. This is about collecting your residence permit. So for students who need a visa to get into the Netherlands. Again, just to remind you, it's a different process from registration at the municipality, which is for all of you, for all students. This is really for the students who are from outside of the EU EEA. For you, it's important that you will receive an email from our AOES Immigration Affairs, from their email address immigration@hva.nl. And in that email, everything will be explained about where and when you can pick up your residence permits. All information, which you probably have already seen as well, can be found at amsterdamuas.com/immigration. So check that as well. And as already mentioned, that it's so important for you to register at the municipality and open a Dutch bank account, because to open the bank account, you do need that BSN number, which you get after registration at the municipality. Because then after you already have everything arranged, you can fill in the form and get your proof of financial means deposited to your Dutch bank account. Then an important note to those students coming in who have followed a slightly different immigration process from the UK, Australia, New Zealand, USA, Canada, Japan, and South Korea. You'll have to deposit your biometric data before you can pick up your residence permits. All right, I think these are the important points about collecting your residence permits. So now I'm going to wake up all the other students who are from the EU, because the next topic is for you again as well. So it's for all. Let's go to the next slide. So for everyone, collect your student ID card. This is also important because you can use that student ID card not only to prove that you are now a real student from the Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences, but also to print, to get books from the library, and to get discounts, because at the cafe or restaurants, different places, you can show your card and get discounts. Important to get your student ID card is to upload a picture. You have to do that before Monday, the 20th of January through my HVA card. So do that already now. So it's something that you can already start doing and arranging. And I hope some of you have done so already. And it's important also to know that you do not receive a confirmation once you have uploaded the picture. So don't worry about it. If you have uploaded it on the website, then it should be fine. Then once you are here, you can pick it up from Tuesday, 28th of January. Most of you will arrive a day later when the contracts of AUS housing will start. But from then on, you can already pick up your student card at the service point or customer service desk. One or the other is available at every campus of the Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences. You don't need an appointment to collect your student card, but you do have to bring your ID, passport, or EU ID card. And below you can see for the different campuses where you can pick up your student ID card. Now let's go on to the fun part of this whole presentation. Of course, student life in Amsterdam as an international student. what can you do? What fun things you can do after your classes, and what associations are there? Well, the most important for international students is the Erasmus Student Network. They are in charge of also organizing the introduction days for exchange students. Also, the central introduction that all exchange students have been invited to on the 30th of January, and then they will go on to have their introduction days on the 31st of January and the next week on the 6th of February. They also do have a local buddy program. So if you like to be surrounded by local students as well, who can introduce you to the local life here in Amsterdam, also sign up for this local buddy program. Then, as most of you will be housed through AUS housing, it is good to know that most of our international housing buildings have a very lively community. So tap into that as well for your local network here in Amsterdam. A lot of the buildings have residence assistants. These are Dutch students who live at the same building as well. They organize events, but they are always there as well to help for any questions or things that you have to deal with within housing. And some of the housing buildings have caretakers. They are also there for questions and any issues you can encounter. And also, don't be a stranger. Once you are there, get to know your neighbors, say hi, introduce yourself, because you never know. Once you can have nice parties, nice conversations, important people, new friends, connections, everything that makes life so much better. Then there are also student networks and platforms. After we have sent this presentation, you can use the link here to see which ones are available. All of the student programs, the study programs at our university also have a student association, so check that out as well. Then we also have the University Sports Center. If you want to train, work out before or after classes, they also provide a lot of sports classes that you can choose from. And they do have student discounts as well. There's one here at the Amsterdam campus where I'm working, where most of the faculties are located. And there's also one at the sports campus. And then if you're interested in a more creative part of doing things outside of your study, then we have CREA, the Cultural Center, where you can think of theater, painting, all kinds of cultural expressions. It's located at the University of Amsterdam, but it's also open for students of the Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences and very close to the Amstel campus. Then we also have student information points at the different campuses. These are places where we offer peer-to-peer information. So these info centers are done by students. They will help you, they will guide you to find your way in our big institution. Sometimes you might need a specific department, a document, and you don't know where to start. It's very good to get to know these students because they can really guide you to the right department, but they can also give you tricks and tips about living here in Amsterdam. So it's good to know that this is also available for you. You can see on this slide where you can find the student information and when they are open and what their contact information is. So always keep in mind, if you have a specific question that teachers or fellow students cannot help you with, you can always reach out to student info. And then we arrived at the checklists. Just to remind you of all the things that we have gone through during this presentation, which is a lot. Think about that health insurance, which is mandatory. Master the public transport system, or I guess it's good for all of you, buy or rent a bike so you are really a local here in Amsterdam. Register with the municipality, also mandatory for all students. Open a Dutch bank account, especially for the non-EU and non-EEA students. Collect your residence again, also for the non-EU and non-EEA students. For all of you, collect your student cards to get the discounts, to be able to print. And most important, of course, enjoy Amsterdam and have fun. Now, I imagine there might be some questions still, or maybe some of the questions have not been answered yet. It is important if you have questions about the introduction event. Please send an email to the international offices. So that would be me if you will come to the Faculty of Technology, because we can answer those questions specifically. Also, most of the information that we have been presenting is also available on the website, amsterdamuas.com/upon arrival. You can find here on the slide as well all the contact information about the international offices. Getting started, there you can find everything you need to start your study program. Think about timetables, books, but also we have a newbie guide where you can find more information how to connect to the internet, these kind of practical things. And then for more general, but also very good information about studying in the Netherlands, this is a governmental website, studyinNL.org. You can find loads of videos as well explaining you about living in the Netherlands as an international student. Then we have some general and different department email addresses here as well, just for your reference. And then we are at the end of our presentation. And we really want to thank you for your attention. We want to wish you very safe travels to the Netherlands. And also, we wish you to have a really exciting time here in Amsterdam. And now it is time to go to the breakout rooms. You can join the breakout rooms to meet all the other students. We will only join for a few minutes just to check if everything is working out as we wish. We have 2 breakout rooms arranged. One of them